Bread. Do you have a favorite Paul Rudd movie? I once was an outsider in this community when I dressed up in a blazer and didn't have any costume on. But now the people are accepting me and they want to take photos with me, especially if they have kids. All right, who am I here with? I'm here with
Joe.
Jonas, and
Chris.
Pine, and we're here at the C2E2. It's a very exciting time to be here. You guys big Paul Rudd fans?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you don't even know who Paul Rudd is, do you?
Come on, Ant-Man, come on.
All right, no Ant-Man fans down here. But you said you like Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
He's okay? Yeah, I think so too. Do you guys have a favorite Paul Rudd movie other than Ant-Man?
You know,
You can't name a single one? What's your favorite Paul Rudd movie that's not Ant-Man?
Ant-Man and Wasp and Avengers.
Incredible move. He bypassed the entire system. And if you could talk to Paul Rudd and say something to him right now, what would you say?
What do you do to stay so young?
If you could say one thing to Paul Rudd, what would you say?
I think you're incredibly funny.
I'd say you're one of my favorite actors in one of my favorite Paul Rudd movies.
I would say, man, you're hilarious and keep going with Ant-Man. Please don't stop those things. They're awesome.
Not a huge Paul Rudd fan. So he kind of sucks, right?
He's okay.
Yeah, we hate Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't even know that I'm Paul Rudd in the costume. If Paul Rudd were here right now, what would you say to him?
Hi.
Well, why don't you tell him yourself? Sorry, guys. But maybe you should just tell him yourself.
All right, perfect. Oh my God, you're
When you see him at the expo. Sorry, it's just me.
good bud.
Good, but oh my God, you should tell him yourself. When you see him, there could have been so many better alternatives to end up with, but this was probably the worst one.
I bet you're a great guy.
I'm okay.
I bet you're a great
Yeah.
guy.
I'm 610 608 4935. I think there were a few folks who thought that maybe I was going to be. I'm just a local comedian who does a little bit of stand-up, but mostly improv at one of the local theaters. I'm just local improviser Geoff Dow. I'm not Paul Rudd, but it could have been, and that would have been very impactful for him. I'll never be Paul Rudd. It's too hard to make it in the entertainment business.
I think I really learned a lot today, but maybe the most important lesson was instead of being myself, I think going forward I will just continue to be a large duck. I think people were more excited to see me. I got a lot of great reactions from strangers. And, since being Paul Rudd is kind of out of the cards for me, the next best thing is it's just being a duck.
I am not Paul Rudd. There's a chance that I'm Paul Rudd, but I'm probably not. I'll never show any of you whether or not I'm Paul Rudd, unless you ask some other person that's not Paul Rudd after all. I don't have time for this. I have to go do some Paul Rudd stuff. I mean some stuff.